Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our channel. We have Liz Cross, mind prober extraordinaire, among many other things. And Erik is my son in the afterlife who's going to assist. And for those of you who have never seen a mind probe with Liz, maybe you can sort of explain what that is and what
Oh,
you.
a mind probe. It's a very distinctive remote viewing technique that I learned many years ago. And yeah, so you're going into the living's mind. So basically, I'm getting information, I'm extracting information from them. Now, a question that is often asked is, can they lie? No, they can't, because lying is based in the conscious mind. Mind probe bypasses the conscious mind and goes in further. So, no, they're
Whoa,
not able to lie.
it's so cool.
Well,
That
it's when, sorry, that's when the conscious mind, the conscious mind is what lies. So, when people tell a lie, they give off signals that they're lying, right? So they're twiddling with their hair, fiddling around, scratching, or their pulse rate races, and the lie detector test picks that up. Well, that's because the conscious mind at that point is going against what the real truth is. So I
Hmm.
bypass the conscious mind altogether.
Yes, and the reason we don't show her on video is because she works with law enforcement, and there are some cases that could be very dangerous for her if she exposes her identity. So that explains that. Today's Mind Pro, and by the way, she has a YouTube channel that will, of course, put on the screen along with her information, but we'll also have it in the description box. So today's Mind Pro, anyway, I forgot to continue that sentence. Check her YouTube out, and there's so many mind probes there that are fascinating. All right, today's mind probe is on Ryan Larsen. Ryan is a 12-year-old autistic boy. He disappeared May 17th, 2021. Wow. After
Wow.
leaving La Vista West Elementary School in La Vista, Nebraska. So, here are the questions we gathered from the community. Your mother said that Ryan, oh, you want to connect to his mind?
So is is Brian still alive? I feel like he's still alive.
That was one of the questions. Good. A great mind probe. All right, you said your mom said, Ryan, that because of your autism, it's not uncommon for you to run away if you get frustrated. Just weeks before you disappeared, you walked out of school and were found a few blocks away at your grandmother's house. What happened to you on May 17th, 2021?
On May 17th, 2021. I walked out. He's saying I walked out. You walked out of where? I walked out of school, but he's saying my family home. He must have, his autism must be quite bad,
Yeah.
because he's actually, his perception of things is quite different from just a normal functioning, well, what is normal anyway, but a
Yeah.
normal brain with normal processing speed, an average brain. Instead of saying normal, let's say average.
Yes, let's
um,
do it. Yeah.
did you want to go home? No, I hate home. Okay, why, where are you now? He is with a man.
Okay.
um and this man, what does he look like? He's large, he's overweight, and this man feeds him, and this man buys him things, keeps him occupied. I don't feel he's allowed on the computer. He's not really allowed to communicate. He does watch TV. Do you know exactly where you are? No. Have you been outside? No. Do you go places with this man? Occasionally. What do you think has happened to your family? He's like, I don't care about them. And I'm saying, but why do you say that? Don't you know that your family are really looking for you? Now, what I'm picking up on, though, with part of his processing issue, he has difficulty feeling emotions.
Yeah.
And so, the love that is normally that bond, that love, I don't see it as being there. And I think that's due to his possible autism. So, how did this man find you? He picked me up on the side of the road.
In a car, or
in a car, in a truck.
how far away are you from the school? Or maybe Eric, maybe you can help us with this kind of thing. How far away is Ryan from the elementary school?
How far away is Ryan? Is he still in the air? Is Ryan still in the area? No, he's not in that area anymore. This guy got him out of that area. The guy was local, but he obviously they moved to get, because there's too much, everybody's looking for him in that town,
Yeah,
right? So they've moved. So how far away are they?
like in
I
another
feel
state.
what I'm getting is they're possibly in Washington State.
Oh, okay. Can we mind probe the perpetrator?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I've got him here.
Why
Uh,
why did you take Ryan?
why did you take Ryan? For sexual gratification.
Okay. Do you treat him other than that? Do you treat him well?
Other than the sexual aspect, do you treat him well? Exceptionally well. Has
Okay.
he grown? Yes, he has grown. Is he as big as you? No. This guy is big. Okay. This guy is big. This guy is tough. This guy is strong. He does work. He does work. I feel like he works some sort of like factory job, maybe something to do with steel, metal, something to do with industry,
Okay.
but he's a loner and
Yeah.
nobody has any idea what's going on in his private life. Do you live in an apartment? No, they live in a basement
Of somebody's home?
of somebody's home. Yes, they rent a basement. And do you say that that's your kid? Yes, they think that this boy that's missing, Ryan, they think that's his kid.
Wow. Uh, would you ever consider letting him go? Because I don't think he would be able to communicate to the authorities who you are.
Would you ever consider letting him go? No, he loves him.
Truly loves him or sexually loves him?
Do you truly love him? He's in love with him.
Okay. Okay, Ryan, how do you feel about the sexual relationship with this man?
How do you feel about the sexual? I just do what he tells me to do.
Do you like it?
I mean, does it bother you?
Yeah.
Yes, but he gets rewarded. I don't feel he has the full understanding of what's going on,
Yeah.
which just as well. You know what I mean? You
Mm,
don't want him
I
to.
know.
It's just such a sad situation.
Do you enjoy
Do
the
you miss your
sexual?
mom?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
miss your mom? No, not really. Like, I don't feel he has that ability to connect with those emotions.
Yeah. Eric, do you see him ever being found?
Will he ever be found? Eventually, yes. I feel like this guy's going to die. This
Oh,
guy has a very unhealthy lifestyle. How old are you? He's in his 40s
hmm.
and he's overweight. He doesn't eat well. He's overweight. He doesn't eat well. They eat a lot of fast food. He doesn't really know how to cook or anything like that. So he's also a smoker. Does he drink? He's also a drinker. And I just feel like he's a ticking time bomb, really. He doesn't exercise, he doesn't do anything. But they just live, and I feel like the home is squalor as well. I just feel I can see it's very untidy. He will physically abuse Ryan as well if
I was
Ryan
going to ask that.
does challenge him. He is firmly locked in this basement.
Hmm. Does he ever go outside at all from the basement? Does he ever leave the basement?
Do you ever leave the basement? No. And I feel like the windows are covered as well.
What is the best uh, advice, Eric, for trying to find him? Go to some of the industrial factories, find out renters in different apartments that rent the basement. I mean, the house, basement of a house, or what?
Will we be able to find? I don't think it's time to find him at the moment. I just
Okay.
think this is all soul contract,
Oh,
mine,
yeah,
things that are supposed to be happening. Um, Although we would love to find him.
yeah,
I think the best way is for me to probe the suspect.
yeah,
You work Monday through Friday? No, he works mainly on the weekends. Okay. And so what happens to Ryan on the weekends? I leave him food and water. Is he chained up? No. Is he locked in a room? Yes.
yeah. The basement, yeah.
So, does he have access to the bathroom? Yes, he does. Do you abuse him? Have you threatened him with weapons? Yes, he has. And do you think that Ryan will leave? No, he won't. He won't do that now. Do you let him out at all? No, only occasionally. When you say occasionally, what do you mean? We may go to on a picnic, but do you think he'll try to escape? No, he doesn't know how to escape.
Yeah.
And I think he's gone beyond. Let's ask him this question. Has he ever tried to escape? Yes. So when he was younger, he did try to escape.
Okay.
Um, but not because of he didn't, not because I need to get home, this man's a creep or whatever, right? It was
Right.
because of frustration and
Yeah.
anger. But he quickly physically abused him, basically beat him up and taught him, you can't escape. Um,
Mm.
So Ryan doesn't try to escape. So sometimes, as a special treat, they will go and have a little celebration. I'm like, what are you celebrating? He's like, the day I picked him up.
Oh
So
God.
on May 17th, every year, do you celebrate? Yes, that's their outing on May 17th.
Where do you go usually?
Where do you go usually? A park, or we go on a picnic. So that's where all eyes need to be open, is on that date. And which state are you in? I feel like he's in Washington.
Okay. And can you narrow it down to a part of Washington or near
Are
around what
you,
city?
are you near Seattle? No. Olympia? I feel closer to Olympia.
Is it a city park, state park,
Is it a state? It's a
national park?
state park.
A state park near Olympia. All right.
Do you have any other outings? Occasionally. What about like Halloween or things like that? No, no, absolutely not. What about Christmas? No. Does he know that it's Christmas? No, he has no idea. So what does he do all day? Does he watch TV? Yes, he watches TV. And what else does he do all day? Does he he plays video games?
Okay.
Do you have the internet? No.
It's kind of bad to not expose a kid to sunlight. The vitamin D level must be really low on Ryan. Gosh.
Well, and he's not eating properly either.
Oh boy. Do you ever go to a restaurant with him?
Do you
To
ever go to a
celebrate?
restaurant with him? No, absolutely not. They do not go out in public places.
Okay. All right. So State Park, somewhere in Washington, probably close to Olympia, May 17th. You guys, the authorities, if you guys know the authorities are investigating this, please reach out to them with this video, this YouTube. Ryan, do you feel safe?
Ryan, do you feel safe? Yeah, he does feel relatively safe. This guy does not physically abuse him anymore.
Good.
There's no need to. Does he drug you? And I feel like there is an element of drugging going on as
Is it
well.
alcohol or some other illicit or an illicit drug?
Alcohol? No, ugh. He says, no, I'm not drinking that. What do you drug him? I feel like he drugs him with downers. Does
Okay.
he take pills? Yeah, mostly like medication, downers. Um,
Why?
why do you do that? To make him compliant, to make him subdued. When Ryan
Otherwise,
is
oh,
angry, he has unbelievable strength.
yeah. Wow. You said Ryan does or the man?
Yeah, no, the boy.
Oh yeah, wow. It's about 15 now or so. So if you did not drug him, would he struggle against your advances?
If you did not drug him, yes, he would. He would.
Okay. Do you ever show simple affection, hugs, kisses, petting
You ever
toward the boy?
show simple affection? Yes,
How about you, Ryan? Do you toward this guy?
he does.
Oh, you do? Like what sort of affection do you show this man, Ryan?
Hugs.
Okay. Uh, how can authorities find and prosecute? Okay, so we kind of covered that a little bit. If you crossed over, no, we need to go through that, and not in spirit. Sole purpose or life lessons of an incarnation with autism. Can you talk about that, Erik or Ryan?
Yes, absolutely. So that's a good question. And that let's find out because that's a very difficult existence,
Yeah.
right?
Not only
Uh,
for the person that has autism, but also the neurotypicals around him.
yes. Oh, I like that. Neurotypical. Thank you. I was trying to find the
It's
word
so
and I couldn't.
hard, so hard. Neurotypical, but they call others apparently normies, but I don't know if that's derogatory or politically incorrect or not. But I saw it in one of the questions here. Okay,
Oh, okay. Because I know there's neurodiverse, and then there's,
yeah,
yeah, that would make sense. Neurotypical. Okay. So let's go into Ryan's soul. Let's uncover a past life. And
okay.
I'm going into his soul now, and I'm asking him why. I'm just trying to find the pattern here, the reasoning. So this is very interesting. I'm seeing that he is just energy. I'm like, are you in a body at that point? No, he's just energy. So this is almost like life between life, right?
It's
And I'm saying, why are you showing me this?
yeah.
Because he's saying, I'm free, I'm free.
Oh,
This is where my happy place is. I'm not comfortable with being on the earth plane. I don't like it. I know that it's something that I have to do, but you know, the choices are very difficult. Designing the lifetimes are very difficult. So
yeah.
I'm asking him, is this where you were before you came down in this current lifetime? Yes. Okay. Why would you choose this life of A, being kidnapped, held against your will, and also having autism to boot? Like, what he says, I wanted the biggest challenge possible. And I'm saying, but
And you
with
hate it.
the brain wiring, because it's almost like it's like, oh, I want to experience these very difficult circumstances in order to grow exponentially, but I'm saying, but you're fighting against this brain wiring that's not going to allow that enlightenment. So it's almost like you've placed yourself in this trap.
Oh,
You can't free yourself from the kidnapper. You're diffused or disconnected from essential emotions that are required to do the processing, that are required to do the work that is involved. And he says, yeah, I know, I'm fully aware of that. I screwed up. And I'm
well,
saying it.
Erik, can he evolve through his uh, completely neurotypical higher self?
Can he
Could
evolve?
could can he evolve, after the fact when he is not in an autistic body?
I don't think, okay, so that's a good question. What I'm getting very strongly from Erik is I don't think he's going to choose another lifetime like this again as a soul, right? This was a big mistake. And oftentimes, once we drop the body here on the earth plane and we evolve into the spirit world, we go into the spirit world, we're now planning our next lifetime. We actually forget the difficulties and the weight of those
Yeah.
strong emotions that we feel, the struggle on the earth plane. And we forget how powerful the brain is and how essential the brain is. So oftentimes we're making these lifetimes with, oh, let's do this and oh, let's do that. And we come down here and now we're fighting against the brain and the brain wiring, and we're it's impossible. So I feel like what I'm getting from Ryan is that's exactly what's happened in this scenario. But this was more about putting his family through the
That's what I was
ringer.
wondering. Maybe the lessons are for your family and people that surround you, the community, the searchers, friends, family, etc. Is that what
Mhm.
this was about, really?
Really, it's about maximizing their pain, their emotional pain. This is
So
a,
for
I
their
mean,
involvement, for their spiritual evolution, or
for their spiritual, yes, exactly. He's saying
yeah.
for their spiritual evolution. It's almost like he's become the sacrificial lamb, as it were,
Oh.
for lack of a better term, for their spiritual growth as well.
So can we probe the parents, maybe as a couple, and see, ask questions?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do you know their names?
No,
Okay, no worries. Let me just try to form a connection here. Um,
I don't think I do.
okay, I've got the mom here. I do.
Okay. So, mom, do you think he's alive or dead?
Do you think he's alive? No, she thinks he's passed.
Oh, wow. Um, I hope you watch this video, or maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. Do you love Ryan?
Do you? Oh my God. Like when I ask her that question, it's like her heart wants to burst.
Oh,
It's almost like, it's almost like she wakes up and has several nervous breakdowns every single
oh,
day that he's not in the home. I mean, listen, you're a parent, I'm a parent. I just, I like beg my soul that I never have to learn any lessons this way.
oh no. Well, I hope she finds her higher self of the mom. Go to the Chimney Eric channel and find this, or somebody who knows them. Please send her this, the family this. Okay, can you
Mm.
talk to us, Ryan, about another life where you're actually in a physical body that perhaps influenced this one? Or if you can't do that, just whatever the prior one was, where you're.
Okay, so what was it that, thank you, sorry, what was it that influenced this lifetime? So I'm picking up on, this is a very typical scenario in a past life, and I'm picking up on a lifetime of where he was some sort of tribal warrior. He was in some sort of war. He's got this spear, and he's trying to throw this spear, but it doesn't seem to land anywhere. Like there's no skill involved. And in order to be survive these types of battles, these confrontations, you have to have a lot of skill
Yeah.
and training, and there's none whatsoever. He's just like, it's like an arrow shot in the dark. You don't know where it's going to go.
Okay.
And
So
he's saying,
it wasn't a very good warrior. Is that what you're saying?
he's like feeling hopeless on a soul level. And I'm saying, what, why he doesn't want to be involved in everyday life, everyday scenarios, right? Because he's just saying, I have to find a way. It's almost like the path of least resistance. I've actually had this before with somebody I work with on the CTT. It's a path of least resistance. It's a way to not fully immerse yourself
Oh,
into
yeah.
society and into life. It's sort of like I'm half here, but I'm half out in
Yeah.
a way. And that's what I'm picking up on. He doesn't like having the full earth plane experience.
Was that because of that existence as a warrior or other lifetimes as well?
Is that because of the existence of a warrior? Mainly because a lot of times back then in those past lives, it's mostly revolved around battles and confrontations and very difficult scenarios as well, like kill or be killed. He doesn't like that. He is a
Oh,
very gentle soul. He
oh,
is the type of soul that says, I just don't want to be involved in this. I don't want to participate fully. I'm getting that so strongly
interesting.
from him.
That's well, you don't have to pick that kind of life the next time you go around.
Will you pick this autism again? No, he's not going to do that again.
And you don't have to pick. violent ones, kill or be killed type of lives either, right?
You don't have to pick kill or be killed. Yeah, but what happens is that's so ingrained on the soul memory because for millions of years or thousands of years, humans lived that type of
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
This is the way we live now is relatively new.
Yeah. All right. And Eric, you might have to answer this. What causes autism?
What causes
I mean, we know
autism?
it can be a very often and probably almost always is a soul contract.
It's, it's definitely a soul contract.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a component in the soul contract. But what if we were to go outside of the soul contract?
Yeah.
What is the cause or maybe a contributing factor to autism? And I'm getting very strongly it's pollution.
Mm, interesting. Could it be heavy metals, toxins, anything like that?
All of the above. Yes, plastics, is a big contributing factor.
Mm,
Microplastics, metals, toxins, air pollution. It's distorting our genetics. It's distorting the DNA. It's distorting the ability to, you know, cell division. That's a big problem as
mm.
well. So it's causing malfunctions in the cell division process.
Can it be reversed through diet, energy work, heavy metal, chemical detox, anything like that?
Can it be reversed through diet?
Just mitigate.
Um, I feel diet can help, but once the soul is already here on the earth plane,
Yeah.
can it be reversed through energy work? Yes, it can be. It's brain wiring. So it's about rewiring the brain. But I'm saying, but if we rewired the brain somehow, and then we like, wouldn't the brain, because the brain is malleable, the wiring is
Yeah.
malleable, it's always changing, and especially
Right.
with a growing body,
Right.
wouldn't it automatically revert back to that old brain wiring? And I'm getting a no on that. I'm getting a no. If you can somehow rewire the brain, that would make the necessary adjustments to make sure that the person is processing efficiently.
That's interesting because I've had a lot of success with the scalar work for autism, especially when combined with the full body microbiome optimization, which includes everything, brain and gut and all that. But there's a lot of stuff related to neurons and mitochondria and all that in the script. It's really very down to the cellular and neuronal level. So, so maybe that explains it. What about the diet? You talked about diet. What kind of diet would be the best for a child with autism or a person?
What kind of diet would be the best um, for autism? Like what will really just clean eating is the best thing. But the problem is, and what's coming through very strongly is, that's very difficult as well because oftentimes autistic children they're sensitive to certain textures and things and tastes and smells, and it just feels like, if you can get them to somehow eat cleanly as possible, that certainly helps. But again, it depends if they have that texture component to the autism, then that makes the battle a lot more difficult. So I have to ask this question. What about like the video games? Because oftentimes autistic children are absolutely totally 100 and plus percent embedded and embroiled, and they have massive video game addictions.
Yeah.
What about the video games? Are they beneficial for autistic children? No, absolutely not. So what actually happens, even though you think you're being nice and this is something that the autistic child can handle, and also it gives parents a break, like I
Right.
totally
Electronic
get it,
babysitting. Yeah. Right. Right.
right? It actually contributes, it makes the brain that much harder to rewire.
Mm. So
because they are allowed to become fixated on one particular thing or maybe one or two particular things, and it doesn't expose the brain to lots of other things. Now, I know I don't have an autistic child. I should imagine it's extremely difficult to even try to introduce new things into that child's life. I'm getting that very strongly, but it's essential to keep changing things up, keep making sure reintroducing new things all the time, so that their brain doesn't become
yeah,
so fixated
they
on
could
one
get
particular
other
thing.
pathway development. Right. All right. I'm going to stop this part one and we are going to have part two. So you guys subscribe and hit the notification bell. And again, check out Liz Cross in the description box and on the screen. Love you all. Stay put, Ryan and Erik.